In today's NFL, there really isn't such a thing as a one-size-fits-all type of defense. The complexity of the modern game forces teams to be diverse in their approach, adapting on the fly to the galaxy brain offenses of the 21st century. No coordinator out there embodies this approach quite like Bengals defensive coordinator Lou Anarumo. Eschewing any form of base coverage, Lou shapeshifts and camouflages his defense based on opponent, presenting teams with a barrage of looks and then adjusting to hammer home the advantage. While many coordinators will base their defense around one scheme, aligning their different looks and counters off of it, Anarumo is coverage agnostic. The Bengals will change their plans week to week depending on matchup, making it extremely difficult to get a feel for how to attack them. Anarumo also does a great job working out which of his looks is working best, then adjusting to clamp down on his opponent. Jumping back to last year's AFC Championship, Lou found a chink in the Patrick Mahomes armor, throwing a look that completely scrambled his game. Tired of Mahomes picking apart coverages, Anarumo deployed a lot of drop 8 defense. And that's exactly what it sounds like, dropping 8 defenders back in coverage, only rushing 3. They start out in what looks like man coverage, but right at the snap, Mike Hilton will hard bail and the Bengals will shift into a Tampa 2, increasing the protection by dropping Logan Wilson into a rat zone. That's the space under the first zone level between the line of scrimmage. In this position, he's both clogging that middle crossing lane window and spying Mahomes. The look scrambles Mahomes and he misses a couple of windows, allowing the pressure to get to him and force him out of the pocket. You have to treat him as a scrambling QB, and Wilson starts to hunt him down, but keeping his head up, Mahomes finds the check down. He might have made the right play here, but you can see that it slowed down the processing. There were a couple more snaps in the first half against the drop 8 which forced Mahomes to process or take the check down. So in the second half, Lou doubled down, shifting this to Cincinnati's base scheme with a variety of looks. Here's a great variant against the spread formation, taking away the two things the Chiefs love to do: get Kelce in space and attack vertically from the inside slot position in trips. To deal with Kelce, those drop Sam Hubbard from edge to provide Jermaine Pratt with inside and underneath help, before having him spy Mahomes in case of a scramble. And while they're playing man on the outside, they have rules for how to eliminate that speed from the 3. If he goes inside, then Wilson can take him with Hubbard also there if he goes all the way across on the drag. But if he goes vertical, he's the safety's problem, bracketed inside and out. A great call shuts everything down, and Mahomes always looks to extend the play. But this time it's cut short with Hubbard closing in, forcing a ball into tight crossing coverage. And this is a great breakup by the superb Mike Hilton. And here's another great snap by the Bengals to throw off Mahomes and shut down the mesh. Seeing lots of drop 8, Andy Reid correctly calls a 1-4 set trying to flood one side of the field. But the rotating safeties and flooded box after the snap means Mahomes never gets a read of the defense. The Bengals are playing man again with a single high safety and a robber. They're playing the same coverage on the 3 to the trip side, bracketing him inside and deep with the safety, but the alignment on him makes this more difficult to read. Being cover 1, Mahomes should know to automatically throw the wheel here, but he goes to the mesh instead, where the Bengals play it perfectly. Watch Jesse Bates read the crosser and take the correct angle to defend 11 on the drag under, and watch Eli Apple know to let this go, intentionally running himself into Kelce here to shut down any chance of the ball going to him. No ref is going to call this illegal contact against the mesh. Mahomes does his usual circus extension of the play, but the Bengals have everything locked down, and the line finally drags him down for the 3rd down sack. And it was also played on the Mahomes game-flipping interception. Again, it's man, so they'll make sure to chip Kelce to slow his momentum, and use the safeties to pass off the speed from Tyreek Hill in the slot, with Logan Wilson again spying Mahomes in case of the scramble. Mahomes tries to test him deep, but the window was too small, and Bates bats it to Von Bell, leaving Burrow a short field to the Super Bowl. So, when the Bengals met the Chiefs in Week 13 of this year, many were expecting to see the same sections of the playbook arise. However, Anarumo had other plans. You've got to disguise if you want to stay in the game with Patrick Mahomes, so Anarumo threw as many different looks at him as possible, trying to slow him down. Here, they start off in what looks like quarters, but Bates will roll, forming a cover 3. Mahomes sees Hilton hung up on MVS, so tries to fire the flat, but Hilton is just too damn fast. And this time, they'll swap coverage as if they're passing off for the speed and man coverage. But it's actually quarters, and the defense smothers everything. Mahomes' good pocket movement extends the play, and he forces an audacious and poor choice, trying to throw a crosshash corner. Awuzie has baited him by staying low in his quarter, and he'll be annoyed he didn't pick this one off. And here's that fast four play the Chiefs tried to run last game, but with a four-man pressure instead. The linebackers shift to track Pacheco, shutting down the swing without being picked this time. And Pratt and Mike Hilton will do a great job matching the leverage from Kelsey and the 3, making sure the inbreaker is locked down and there's no vertical threat up the hashes. Mahomes has nowhere to go, and this ends up as a ground ball. And then when the game was on the line, he changed back up, busting out the drop 8. They present both linebackers up and Sam Hubbard off the line of scrimmage, threatening the blitz, but none of them will be coming, dropping into the Tampa 2 rat we first covered. Rookie Joseph Asai whips Orlando Brown, but you never get Mahomes on the first try. Luckily, the coverage leaves them with nowhere to go, and he gets his deserved sack, pushing the Chiefs out of field goal range. So he can game plan and adjust game to game. But what really elevates his coordination are those in-game adjustments. We mentioned the increase of the drop 8 in the championship game, but it's evident throughout the film. Week 18 against the Purple Birds is a great example. Having played heavy amounts of zone through the first 3 quarters, the Bengals had played okay defense, getting a little lucky with turnovers helping keep the score down. Not content with what he had seen, from midway through the third, Anarumo switched it up, blitzing Anthony Brown and negating any chance of a comeback. They send 5 against the play action here, and Asai is just too good for Patrick Ricard, trying to hold the blindside on his own, forcing Brown to spin out, and he can't avoid the chaos. Next play, they come right back with the linebacker blitz, forcing it out of his hands again quickly. Brown reads it well firing the slant, but Mike Hilton reads it even better. They really managed to force that ball out much earlier, disrupting any chance of long-lasting plays, stagnating any comeback. And one last blitz from this game because I just love this design. Anarumo sends both slot corners dropping to linebackers to match up with the crossers. There's no shame in being fooled by this blitz as a rookie. Last year's wildcard round against the Raiders showed this really well too. Despite just 13 points, Derek Carr and the Silver and Black were splitting apart the Bengals' zone coverage in the first half. So out of the locker room, Anarumo made a big swing, switching to a predominant man-based scheme and blitzing Carr on big downs. When Derek Carr isn't playing in rhythm, his accuracy can get pretty erratic, and the Bengals defense were able to hold the Raiders to just 6 second-half points. A pretty sweet move, just like our sponsor, Factor 75. The new year brings with it fresh goals and all your free time suddenly taken up. Well, Factor is here to help you along the way by saving you the time and energy needed for cooking with their ready-to-eat meals delivered straight to your door. Not only will Factor help you skip the trip to the grocery store, but also all the chopping, prep work, and cleaning up too. Factor's fresh, never frozen meals are ready in just 2 minutes, so all you have to do is add heat and enjoy. Here at Thinking Football, we lead extremely busy lives, so being able to have a nutritious meal and tasty meal ready in the blink of an eye has made a world of difference to our productivity. No matter your requirements, Factor is here to meet them to the fullest, offering a range of meals from Calorie Smart to vegan plus veggie to extra protein meals for those on the grind. So head to factor75.com or click the link below and use the code ThinkingFootball60 to get 60% off your first Factor box. That's factor75.com and use code ThinkingFootball60 to get 60% off. Now, all this can't be achieved without some ballers on the back end, so it's time to dish out some individual love, starting out with one of our editor's favorite players, Mike Hilton. The modern slot corner is one of the hardest positions in the NFL to play. Expected to stay with the shiftiest guys and patterns while remaining strong enough to set the edge and play the run hard. Mike Hilton can do it both at a high level and adds a nasty blitz package to the program. Deadly coming forward, watch Mike Hilton read this shotgun run beautifully. He's already coming on the blitz in the Tampa roll, but watch how he times his pursuit to not let Isaiah Likely, the tight end, know and get out to block him. He times the snap perfectly, getting 3 yards into the backfield and hitting Edwards with a great form tackle. And here it is again against Tennessee. Creeping from the slot, the Titans are actually running an RPO. And with Tannehill spotting Hilton coming on the blitz, he correctly throws the bubble screen. Hilton has other ideas though. watch the angle he takes on the blitz. Knowing Tannehill is going to pull up and fire to his receiver due to the blitz, getting in the passing alley and batting the ball up to himself, securing a masterful interception. And of course, you got to be able to do it in coverage too. Here, taking on one of the shiftiest slot receivers in Hunter Renfrow. Increasing the difficulty, Renfrow is going to be running a tough route to stop, running a deep out but with an inside release. Hilton does a great job to stick with him through the difficult cut to follow, staying right on his tail and getting his eyes back to the QB when Renfrow looks for the ball. Carr has been flushed, so the ball's a little late, but this is a phenomenal break on the ball, jumping in front with an emphatic two-handed bat down. The second player we gotta mention is premier nose tackle DJ Reader. It's a position that's largely fallen dormant in the modern game, but can still be of great value if you have the right guy. I'm hoping to make a video about the role of modern nose tackles soon, so make sure you're subscribed for that. But here's a preview. DJ Reader might be the best of them all. Patrolling the middle of the Bengals D on this one, Reader is lined up in the B gap and is going to end the play all on his own. The blocking across the line looks good, and it looks like Gus Edwards is going to have space to build up speed. That is, until Reader just tosses aside 66 like a cheeseburger wrapper, leaving him in perfect position to wrap up Edwards. And here's that Herculean strength once again, playing right over the center this time. Reader takes his shortest route to Huntley by bulldozing 64 right back on his ass, collapsing the pocket and forcing Huntley to scramble out left. But it's not just his power, Reader moves like he's 50 pounds lighter. Back in the B gap, Tennessee are going to be running stretch right, trying to get Henry's speed and momentum to the edge. However, Reader has the quickness to get across the face of his man, holding him off with that strength, and scrape down the line to follow Henry, disengaging when he's close and stopping one of the strongest runners in the league dead in his tracks. Modern offenses show no struggle moving the ball between the 20s, but only points mean prizes, and bend don't break philosophy has permeated throughout the league for a good reason. The Bengals play phenomenal red zone defense, turning it on when it matters most. Right on the goal line, the Chiefs look to have a good play called, using motion to create a quick pick opportunity, a mesh across the middle, and then a third option crosser. With nobody following the motion, Mahomes probably thinks this is zone, but the Bengals are actually playing clever pass-off coverage. Hilton picks up the quick motion option, so Mahomes comes to his second read, the mesh inside. But look how the Bengals have everybody clogging the middle, bumping the receivers and passing off the routes to leave nobody open, forcing Mahomes to go to his third option, the crosser. Eli Apple is of course behind his man, but Jesse Bates does a great job countering the leverage and speed, getting in the passing lane and allowing his rush to get home. Here it is again against the Ravens this time, shutting everything down with the quarters coverage. Cam Taylor-Britt does a great job to flip his hips here and change coverage, turning and sticking to Demarcus Robinson, jumping in front for the perfectly timed breakup. Back to the Chiefs game, and Andy Reid has called on one of the staples of their quick passing game, sprint option. It's essentially a quick pick play with Mahomes on the move and a secondary hole shot to Kelsey, designed to get a quick open man and an easy score. This has been a routine play for this offense, but the Bengals shut it down completely. A fantastic swat by the corners means the pick is shut down, but the best play on this down comes from Jermaine Pratt, who makes sure to chip Kelsey hard, allowing Bell to get over and shut him off, then clamping the running back Jerick McKinnon, giving Mahomes no extra flat option and forcing him to ground it. And this might be one of the best disciplined snaps we've seen all year. Baltimore brings Sammy Watkins across the motion, looking as if they're running sprint option to the right this time, but Huntley will pivot and get the ball to Andrews on the throwback screen. Cincinnati does a fantastic job staying disciplined and leaving enough defenders back to deal with it, allowing Hilton and Bell to bring him down for the tackle for a loss. It's hard to get a team to play this well drilled while running so many different coverages, and it's a true testament to Lou Anarumo's excellent coaching ability. His job is going to keep getting harder every playoff game, but he's shown he's got the schemes in the high pressure moments. Don't be surprised if there's a lot of teams trying to interview him this offseason. So what will he do against Mahomes this next go around? Well, we'll find out pretty soon. Thanks for watching. There's just 3 more games left in the NFL this season, but that doesn't mean we're going to disappear. We'll be starting with our draft content right after the Super Bowl, so make sure to subscribe and stay tuned. Take care.